Good morning, my dear students. I am teacher Journal Tilakson, your science teacher. Today, we will tackle a new lesson entitled Properties of Suspension. Suspension. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture of two or more substances. In it, the particles are suspended throughout the solution in bulk and can be easily seen by naked eyes. Here, the particles of the solute do not dissolve in the solution and are rather suspended. Particles of the suspension are larger enough to scatter the rays of light, and the path of ray is visible through it. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture of a liquid and particles of a solid. The solid particles in a suspension do not dissolve. They are mixed up with the liquid so that the particles are dispersed throughout. Let us study the image below. In solution, the particles is being dissolved. In suspension, the particles do not dissolve. In precipitation, the particles settle down at the bottom. A key characteristic of a suspension is that the solid particles will settle and separate over time if left undisturbed. These particles are large enough to be seen under a microscope or by the unaided eye. They are sufficiently large for sedimentation, but not big enough to immediately settle at the bottom. Instead, they remain suspended in the liquid for some time and settle at the bottom when left unmoved. If you point a beam of light on the suspension, the light is trapped. The mixture is cloudy due to the smaller particles suspended in the liquid. Components of the suspension can be evenly distributed through mechanical means such as shaking the contents or stirring. Products with label "shake well before using" are suspension. Here are examples of suspension. First, milk of magnesia. Second, clay and water. Third, starch and water. Some liquid medicines, sunscreen, shampoo, and hand washes are examples of suspension. Muddy water, paint, flour in water, juice with pulp, Italian dressing, applesauce, and tomato sauce are also suspensions. Wrapped up. Suspension has bigger solid particles than a solution. Particles do not dissolve. Particles are suspended in the liquid but will settle down later. Did you know that most suspension mixture take place when solid is mixed with another solid? Cake mix is an example of suspension mixture. Dirt is another example of a suspension mixture. That's all for today, and thank you for watching.